I don't, I'm like, oh shoot, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
Do you listen to Heinz? Do you know of him? I may have mentioned him to you before.
Heinz? I
I'll
don't
send
think
him
so.
to you. And he was basically, we're live now, but he was mentioning the same thing as in when he doesn't do it for a period of time, it's like innate, like he has to do it. It's like a part of you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So.
Yeah, this is definitely a part of me.
So, hi everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to Chai Together. I am your host and founder, Prativa Day. Today, you are tuning in for your cup of courage, hope, and imagination. So, on this platform, we use courage to showcase our stories. We use hope to overcome, and we use imagination to resonate and understand with the stories being shared. With that being said, I have my friend here, Mr. Alex Dumas.
Hello, Lady Day. Thank you for inviting me. And quick thing,
Yeah.
I don't know if your camera, you're like a bit fuzzy. I want to just make sure we see you. You got the fabulous shades on, the spectacles.
Really?
Yeah, it looks a little fuzzy on my end over
Oh,
here. I just want to make sure
that's
we
so
look right.
interesting.
We're all good.
Wonder if it's me. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Oh my god, that
Well,
was me?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was like I can
It's
see
the
the
pic.
difference too. That's so
It's the
interesting.
pixelation.
Thanks for letting me know that.
No
So I have
problem.
a question for you. Well, let me read
Sure.
your bio first, but I already have a question, not the one that I asked, where I'm like, how'd you get this way? But
If y'all could see the behind the scenes anyway, we'll
it's
go.
very different. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
I should have said it while we're live, but hey,
it's
we
all
are
right.
real. So Alex is the co-founder of Abundance Daily. Show off the shirt,
Oh,
other
this
side.
a wrong one. Yeah. Oh man, I blew it. All right, just end the broadcast now. I'm done. It's
I
over.
want to ask, is that with your wife or is that separate?
Say what?
Abundance Daily, is that with your wife? Abundance
Yeah,
Daily
I mean we both
Coaching.
operate under the same umbrella. It's a long story about how that came to be, but
Mm.
long story short, Abundance Daily is me, my name, Alexandre Dumas. Same amount of letters in both. AD, kind of an ego trip for me, and it just stuck. So that's it.
Wow. I do want to know more. We're going to dive into that. So, Abundance Daily Coaching since 2018, and he is committed to serving his clients powerfully and fearlessly. I can't be on here with you.
All right. Do you want me to like turn my head like so you don't look at me so
It's
I don't
okay.
mess you up? Like,
Co- coaching them to succeed in their personal lives and businesses, which he does. When he's not spending time with his family or serving clients, Alex shares different insights and stories on his daily 3-minute podcast, which I've listened to, called Love, Serve, and Care. And if you want to learn more about Alex and experience how his coaching will benefit you, then you can learn more at thealexdumas.com.
the real Alex Dumas.
Oh, the real alexdumas.com. Wow, I'm misreading,
It's all
even
right.
though it's
It's all
here.
good. I wrote it in like Sanskrit or something like, or I don't even know. No disrespect to anybody who I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get canceled now because I'm talking bad about other people's languages and
What?
handwriting. I don't know. Like I wrote it
Sanskrit, you
in,
said?
yeah, but I don't know anybody. I'm just gonna leave it alone because I'm gonna get
I
myself in
used to
trouble.
write Hindi. So before I came to this country, I knew how to write in my language because I was born in India. So I used to do that in kindergarten, first grade over there, but I don't remember now.
Damn.
Fun
I'm
fact.
just looking down so I can copy this link and share it on my stuff right now. So I'm not
Okay.
ignoring you. I am making sure that all eyes on us. Oh, dog life.
So let
Yeah.
me ask you,
Yeah.
you're such a fun person, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever work in like, mm, anime or like any kind of field where you narrate like children's shows, different things like that?
No, I've only had one voice uh, voice acting opportunity that came a couple of
Hmm.
years ago at an old job I had, and
Hmm.
I'll say this: that is hard. That is not as easy as you would think. I was flubbing lines. It
Like
took
me
like
right now.
it took like 10 takes. Like I was introducing somebody. I was doing somebody's speaker reel, and they, for whatever reason, they were like, "Yeah, you should do the voice acting for him." Like, okay, whatever. Never did this before, and it's really weird this talking to a microphone and be peppy looking at somebody's video like, all right, here we go with somebody's thing. It's like, it reminds me of like the Family Guy thing was like, follow your nose. Like it's just cartoony. It's like it's really awkward.
Hmm.
But as far as any anime, anything like that, I have not done that at this point. But that would be fun. That would be kind of cool to do. So
I don't know.
any anime directors out there, I'm your guy. I am the voice of anime. I can do whatever you guys want. So
Yeah, because you and your family are so fun, and it makes me think like I feel like you can do more. So tell me this. So you're a coach, like that's serious business, right?
yeah,
But you have like the workshop coming up to where like to be more lighthearted about it. Like tell us about that. Like that's not
yeah,
so serious after all.
yeah, absolutely. That workshop is going down November 20th from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So it's a 2 hour window of time, Eastern time for you people out there who are like, is that
I'll be
Pacific?
there.
Yeah, Eastern time. And it's called the Unfun Experience. Let's get it wrong and see what happens. And in my experience, personally and through working with people, when we try to be perfect, when we take things really seriously, it blocks our creative flow. It blocks us from
Mm,
slowing down and seeing opportunities that are kind of like right there. But we're so focused on the future. We're running, we're racing, we're trying to get to what I call someday island. Well, guess where a fun place is to be? Now Island. Now Island, right here, right now. And yeah, this workshop is really just about bringing lighthearted energy, playful energy, and creating, well, yeah, at least let me put it this way, inviting more joy and enthusiasm into our lives and our businesses. So for those of you that want to play along, it's a 2 hour workshop, and it's jokey, it's funny, but like I'm serious about the time. Like people have been messaging me like, "Can I come for part of it?" I'm like, "You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get for part of the time. You got it's 2 to 4. I'm committed to you for that time. You're committed to me for that time, and
hmm.
we play and we're gonna create some miracles in that time. So that's what we do.
You know, it's interesting because there's a serious side of you, then there's the playful side. So talk about both sides and, how do you balance that? Like when to be serious and not.
Yeah, you know what? And this kind of goes back into like the first question you asked me, like off
Mhm.
air, about how'd you get this way? Well, it stems from me being more certain of myself now, me being comfortable with myself. When I was a kid, it was the only way I was able to get attention was just being over the top, like wild, crazy. But it was like two worlds, two me's basically. Because at home I'm the youngest of four, so I had to be like really loud and brash and stuff like that. But I would also be really quiet. I would get like really serious, really quiet, like just you
Hmm.
wouldn't even see me. I'd be very invisible. And then I would get into school and I would be super class clown. Like if you and me sat together in class, you would never pass your grade because I would be distracting you. I'd be nudging you. I'd be throwing paper airplanes. I would just anything I could to like push the boundaries. And my teachers would be like, "All right, no, come on, settle down." Like and I would just always try to get like it's like a comedian, try to get that last laugh, just try to get the biggest laugh, the biggest rush. And where that shows up now with coaching is, yeah, it's serious business. It's serious work with helping people transform their lives, upgrade their lives. But I don't want to take myself too serious. I take the work serious, the craft of it, but not myself, and get out of not get in my head about what does this person think about me? Am I a good coach? Was this good? It doesn't matter. I'm the least important part of this equation. It's just how do I bring that in my world? It's just what comes to me. Sometimes I can, if I feel if a situation I don't say demands, but I recognize now it's easy for me to turn on and turn off. It's not a performance, but it's like I don't have to be up super crazy, high voltage, me like
Mm.
Alex all the time. It's like, all right, I can dial it back down, and that's cool. I'm not pretending or faking. It's just, I need to recharge too. But when I go, I'm ready to go.
Wow. I like that. And I want to say that I first discovered you as a Facebook friend when you made the Help India Breathe video.
Yes, yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
know of you that we were like friends on Facebook, and that's how we started chatting. And I want to tell the viewers that you make great videos with your children
Oh yeah, thank you.
and that your
Yeah,
daughter is a superstar with her
yeah,
crystal and sugar scrub business.
yeah, yeah.
What is the name again?
It's glorified girls, glorified
Yeah,
girls. My daughter
I like that.
Juliana, she is the the solopreneur of that.
I like that. So I want to ask you a question. In childhood, I know we briefly spoke in chat about it before, but you acting out, was that like how you coped with something like as a child, like neglect
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. So here we go. Time to pull out the big
Whatever you're
guns.
comfortable speaking about. I mean,
No,
you don't have to
it's
say details like
no, it's fine. It's fine because it's
Mhm.
part of me. It's part of what created me. So I
Yeah.
don't remember how old I was. Maybe 6, 7, something like pretty young.
Mhm.
Um, I remember one day looking at this family portrait in my house. Right, mom, dad, my two older brothers, my older sister, and I'm not the smartest guy in the book, right? But I can do math a little bit. I'm the youngest of four. I see three kids, and I'm like, I'm not there. I'm kind of looking around the picture. Maybe mom's pregnant with me. Her belly doesn't look like poofed out. So I'm like, all right, I'm not there. And that moment was like, I'm invisible. I don't exist. I don't matter.
Mm.
That's my, that's what I condemned myself with right then and there. And some people would be like, oh, Alex, well, why don't you just ask your parents, take another picture? That would have been
Mhm.
the easiest thing. Just, hey, I'm not in the picture. Can we do a redo or whatever? But when you put yourself in that hole of invisibility, I don't exist, I don't matter. Well, why would anybody want to listen to me? I don't matter anyway. So how do I cope with that? Try to get the attention, try whatever, try to be seen. And I think a lot of people have a challenge with that. Creeps up to my head every now and then too. Those old wounds, they're cauterized, I'm healed, but they're still there. It's still the scar. You're still there, like, ouch. Like, I
Mhm.
feel that it from time to time. So that's a big part of what created me for sure.
I want to ask you, seeing that picture, how old were you again?
I couldn't have been older than like
Really young.
7. Yeah, I was like 6 or 7. I was like really young.
It comes to mind that maybe that's already a thought that was in your mind. Like maybe you already were feeling that way. I don't know whether you remember or not, like consciously, but maybe you were already feeling that way being the youngest one. And then when you saw that picture, it confirmed it, possibly. You understand? Like maybe at the
Yeah,
time, maybe something happened at the time you don't remember, right? Like you're so young, the memory's not all there, maybe.
yeah,
But I'm saying that that was already a thought in your mind. You were already feeling that way. So when you saw that picture, maybe the picture confirmed it. But what you're saying is when you saw the picture, it just made you feel left out. But
yeah,
that's just an idea I have. Maybe like something like that happened that was already a thought, and then when you saw that, it just confirmed it.
yeah. It's possible. I mean,
So long ago, yeah.
yeah, like that's probably like one of the first like real early memories I have. Outside of like maybe like a birthday party, just like little pieces of
Hmm.
things. But I remember that like concrete, and then just things afterwards of wondering of like
Hmm.
why am I here? What's the purpose? Like what? So just going through all that.
I find that thought to be really fascinating, like how our brains work. Like, I don't know regarding too much about this, but how you could see a picture, right? And be like, hey, I'm not in this picture. I don't belong. Like, how our mind works, like, even at the young age that you thought that. So, do you
Yeah.
like, are you able to tell us more, like, regarding, like, so do you have other pictures with your family? Like, did you discuss this with your family, how you were feeling ever? Like,
No, I never really talked about it with them. Like
now
some
will
of them
they
might be
know?
seeing this right now. They might be like, I mean, I think I talked about this at some other point,
Yeah.
but like for the most part, like they don't. It's one of those things, my parents came from Haiti, so like it's
Mm-hmm.
one of those cultural things. Is like,
Mm.
okay, and and
Yeah.
and they're caring. Let me put it like this: they're caring people, loving people, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a different type of emotional intelligence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, from that experience, I remember, maybe it wasn't that exact day, but I just remember later on, maybe it could have been weeks, maybe it could have been months, I don't know, like kind of by my bedroom window, and like it's the first time, like it sounds really crazy because
Mhm.
to be so small, like wow, oh my God, like how would you think this? I was like thinking like, well, if I just like fell out the window like and died, like what would it matter?
Mm. Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's that's kind of bugged out. Like to think that like serious of a thought
Mhm.
at so little. And I was just like sitting in my windowsill, just like, and it wasn't that far. It wasn't. I was like on the second floor, so I definitely
Mhm.
wouldn't have died. I probably would have like broken an arm or something like that. It wasn't.
I know.
I'm in the burbs at this point. Like we moved from Brooklyn to Long Island, so I'm not
Oh,
gonna die from a drop like that. But it crossed my mind, like
mhm.
just that seed of that. Like, what does it matter? It doesn't matter. I didn't do it. Obviously, I'm still here, but
Mhm.
just to have that kind of thought at so little, it was like really, it's really wild.
Yeah, that's the part I find fascinating about you, and I wonder if that's what molded your personality. Like, I don't know if this is like a fact. I don't know regarding any studies on this or like theories, but the fact that way your brain is, and this isn't to make you feel inferior or that something's wrong with you. I'm not saying something's wrong with you. I
Yeah,
mean, in the sense that you're born at a young age, you're already having these like negative thoughts. Like, that's what's fascinating to me, you know,
yeah,
because I don't remember having that kind of thought like how you just did, but I have seen movies and know of people who, were suicidal during their childhood, but they had like abuse or like some kind of reason.
yeah,
But you, um, I don't know if, personally, like if that was what caused it or like what caused it, but for not to have any other variables active and for your mind to just think that, that's interesting to me, you know?
yeah.
I know
I
we're on
mean,
this topic, but it's just like it's a fascinating thing. Like, how does it's like really questioning because the brain is so complex that even psychiatrists, psychologists, we like they don't have all the answers. You could do as much
yeah,
research as you want. Sometimes we just don't know why people do what they do or why they think what they think. That's why there's so many studies and things, but even then you just don't really know. Have you thought about that before? Like, why? Like,
yeah. I've thought about that a lot, and a couple things come to mind. And
Oh, yeah, you don't have to share them if they're
no,
too.
no, it's
Oh, okay.
fine. It's good. It's nothing like too wild. At least in my book, it's not too wild.
Mhm.
But like I said, I'm the youngest of four kids, and the closest one in age to me was 6 years apart. So
No.
essentially, it was like kind of kids raising a baby in a sense.
Mhm.
My mom, dad are working, and it's like
Mhm.
literally like my sister. She's 10 years older than me. She's the oldest of the bunch, and like my mom, when my sister told me this, like when she brought me home from the hospital, my mom put her in my lap. It's like, all right, here's your baby, and like went to sleep. like, like, well, yo, wait a minute, 10 years old. Like, I think of my daughter.
Mhm.
She's 11. I'm like, there's not a chance. But
Mhm.
and then there's just different things that happened. Like we were, this is before we moved to Long Island. So the first 4 years of my life, we were in Brooklyn, just young, wild kids in Brooklyn. I would,
Mhm.
I would, they would tell me stories all the time about how I would kind of escape from the house and like just be crawling around on like on the flatlands and Flatbush. I'm like, yo, this is the '80s. Like anybody could just snatch me up. Like it just there's this one wild
Baby's
story.
day out.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, so CPS is the statute of limitations is over. You can't take my dad to jail. Um, this one wild story that my sister tells me, and I don't know if it's because she told me that or if I have the actual memory itself. I don't know, but she says I was in the street and there was a truck that was about to hit me, and I just put my hand up and it stopped like right there. She's like, "You are a gift from God. Like you should
Mhm.
be
That's what I'm
dead.
saying.
You should be dead like a million times." Like I don't know if you can see. Like I got a couple scars. Whoops. I got a couple scars on my head. A
Mhm.
glass door like fell on my head when I was 2 or 3. Like my brother and one of my cousins were messing with a door. So I guess I have all of these physical
Mhm.
crazy things that have happened to me like at this young age is like, and then they tell the stories. I mean, we laugh about it, we joke about it, but like at the seed of it, I'm like, um, y'all know you're not supposed to be watching me like a little bit more carefully than that, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm not supposed to be in diapers crawling around on Flatbush.
Mhm. I've had similar experiences, Haitian culture, Indian culture. One time cops were called because I was playing at my friend's house. It's till like 9 p.m. My parents didn't know where I was. They're just, you just go outside. You know what I mean? We came to this
Yeah,
country. I didn't really fluently speak English. And
yeah.
I was walking past the cop and I heard him say my sister's name. And I was like, did you say blank, her name? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm, and then they took me home.
I mean, it's yeah,
Trust
uh,
me, I
yeah,
learned that too, that hey, I was abandoned, like neglected
yeah,
in my childhood as well. I didn't until this year through like therapy and different things, like it didn't come to mind that how much in my culture, like they just, oh, just go to your cousins. And but that's where a lot of abuse and different things happen for me, is when parents, because they were working as immigrants, they came to this country, they worked like
yeah.
two jobs, so the kids were watching me, so I definitely understand. And I was watching kids, so I was a
Right.
kid, another teenager kid was watching me a few years older, and then I'm watching a younger baby, so I totally
Yeah,
understand that concept. And I do think, I have dated someone who's from Haitian descent, so I do understand like the culture. So interesting. But
yeah,
now I want to ask you, so you went from being what, like the class clown, to then
yeah.
how did your life become more serious? Like, hey, I have to, you know, get into a career. Like, how was all that transition for you to what you do now?
Goodness gracious. I, I'd say meeting my wife for sure was the
Yeah.
big catalyst, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because before Sarah, it was just me, a hot mess, just using drugs, just trying to
Mm.
mask everything, trying to cloud, and just I wasn't going anywhere. Even though I was in college, I was about to graduate. This is senior year. I met her, and
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't going anywhere. I was working a job, okay, making a little money,
Mm.
going to school, but it still took a long time. I would say meeting her was like really the big catalyst, and then us, getting married and having our daughter was like, okay, I gotta like kind of grow up a bit. I gotta figure this out because somebody is dependent on me. Like it's not a joke anymore. Joke's over. Comedy club closed. And still it, I don't know if there was like any singular moment. It's just like this gradual process of I'm really sick of feeling upset. I'm really sick of being uh, just mad at the world or isolating myself from people. I'd have friends, people I'm friendly with, but not a friend. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Not anybody
Mm-hmm.
like can peel back the layers with. So in a sense, it's me. It's me in my head all day, thinking, introspecting all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just over time, kind of recognizing, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe I don't need to be so serious, and that comes from being mentor, being coach. I mean, there's just too many people to kind of shout out. If there was like an album, like it'd be like a page of just like
So I
shout
was
outs and
gonna
stuff.
ask who
Right.
are your coaches, or who were, these people?
Goodness gracious.
Are they here today? you know?
Yeah. They're definitely here today. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have made an impact in my life, especially over the last year, last 2 years.
Mm.
Um, let's see, John Strasser, his insight coaching community has been really big for me. Steve Hardison, Rich Litvin, Steve Chandler, Devin Bandison, Melissa Ford. Just I can go on and on,
Mhm.
but it's these type of people who kind of poured into me or saw something, see something in me that I'm like, are you sure? Huh? Like
Mhm.
this, like, sure you want to like this guy? But
Mhm.
as I come to keep developing, keep growing, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, this guy. Like, duh. Like, hello. So it's
Mhm.
not a cocky thing. It's not an arrogance. It's like, yeah, I'm sure of myself. I know who I am. I declared who I am and who I'm becoming, and now I follow through as such. I step into that as such. But yeah, I don't know if I even answered your question. I think I just went like
Yeah.
I went left field
So
for a
now
second. Yeah.
so now tell us, how you and Sarah started Abundance Daily.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that so yeah, this goes into the Abundance Daily origin story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take you back to 2016 is where I first got introduced to coaching through a job. I was selling merchant accounts for this company, and their niche was small, mid-sized businesses, specifically coaches, speakers, digital marketers, and so that allowed me to go to different conferences and seminars. And I was like, whoa. My background's in psychology because my point back then was like I was gonna fix myself. I was gonna figure out
Mm-hmm.
what the hell was wrong with me, and I wanted to learn everything about my mind and my emotions. And anyway, so fast forward to that 2016, going to see these conferences. I'm like, wow, this is it. This is like the world I want to be in. And it was really heavy into uh, getting attention, being seen, being on video, opt-ins, webinars, all that kind of stuff. And I was trying them out, and I just found an old video today. I was like, oh, this is cringy. It's painful to watch that.
Right.
It's like, what is this poor guy? But you have to go through that to become who you are. And yeah, just trying things out. And Sarah was really more of the entrepreneur than I was. She was always,
Mm.
her story is crazy. Like, if you guys have a chance to connect, like, she has some stuff. And I love her. Hey, she knows because she is open about it. She's open about like all
Oh,
the challenge she's had. But she definitely was more the entrepreneur, and she kind of flicked the entrepreneur bug on me.
wow.
And yeah, 2017, 2018, that's where I was like, hey, we're gonna plant our flag and be coaches. And by that time, I was doing these quick videos. I would call them ADD, Abundance Dominance Daily, because like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a plan. Like our ADD generation, people have huge attention spans. I'm like, is
Mm-hmm.
80, and from there it just kept going. It just and then I was like, all right, Abundance Daily, shortened up, and thinking about my my initials on my name. I was like, yeah, Abundance, Freedom, Dominance. All right, boom, got it. That's me. And yeah, we started it up, and we were podcasting together for a while. We had our business and marriage podcast. We
Oh,
did about
wow.
Yeah, we did about like 149. It still bothers me because like I would just like to end it at 150, like a nice even number, but we ended
To
at 140,
149.
149 episodes, and it was a fun time. But through that, we discovered like, hey, you know what? It's a lot easier for us to do our own thing. Like she has her own style. We'll work with people. I have my own style, and it was just that evolution. It really worked out well. But we still operate under the same umbrella. She has her clients. I have my clients, but we don't necessarily coach together or
Mm-hmm.
work with people at the same time. So hopefully yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
So let me ask you. So you still podcast now? Love, serve,
Care, yeah,
love, care, serve. I was
love,
trying to
serve,
say
care.
the. I know
It's
the
like,
three words. I was trying to say them in order. Love, serve, and care.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say love, care, serve. I believe. Yeah.
yeah,
So
love.
how did you come up with these three, and how come you still do it now? And why is it 3 minutes? Because
Bam, bam, bam.
AD.
All right. So easy question first. Why is it 3 minutes? Because I uh, created this beat. It's called Wormholes Part Two. I just made up this beat, and I wanted to do something unique and uh, have it recorded to music. So the
Mhm.
song is the beat is 3 minutes and 22 seconds long. So that's every episode. And I felt that was easy for me. That was doable for me because 3 minute chunks, and it's
Mhm.
really helped me a lot with the storytelling of just like really focusing because the old podcast, it was whatever, it was just open ended. So it'd be like 15, 20 minutes, an hour of just blah, 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 like just garbage, like serious, like, but so I can
Yeah.
focus this in a narrow window. I can do that. I can like focus it like a laser beam, 3 minutes, boom, done.
Mm.
Um, and why do I do it? Because I was a part of this collective of black coaches and leaders last year with Rich Liffin and his wife called the Kaleo Project. And actually, as we're talking today, November 12th, tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of my first episode of the podcast.
Wow. Look at that timing. God is here.
That is, He's
I do
everywhere.
believe in that. There's a timing for whenever my guests come on, right? Because we've
Yeah,
known each other a while, but look at the timing of things, and that gives you content to talk about because of the timing.
yeah. So it's gonna be 1 year tomorrow. So I'm gonna record that episode later. And happy birthday, woohoo! And yeah, I do it now. Like we talked about earlier, it's a part of me. It's
Mm-hmm.
just what I do, and it helps me really focus on everything around me because I'm
Mm-hmm.
pulling stories from everywhere. And how does it connect to coaching, personal development? And I just find it.
Mm.
And last question, right? Here I go, reverse order.
That's
Where that
okay.
came from? This comes from from a book called The Carpenter by John
Mm.
Gordon. And the funny thing about that is I got that from like the CEO of an old job I worked back in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sat in my car. It sat on my bookshelf. I never picked it up. Just it was there. And one day I was kind of getting fed up. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna read this book because I just want to get it done. It was just annoying me that it's like I don't like unfinished business. Like I
Yeah.
don't like things just not being complete. So
Right.
it was there. I'm like, all right, let me pick it up, and it blew me away. I was like, why did I read this 6 years ago? But it's like
Wow.
the timing was when I was ready to
Mm-hmm.
receive it. And the big principle in the book of like it's yeah, the Carpenter, the greatest stories of success, the greatest success strategies, something like that.
Wow.
And the principle of it was love, serve, care. It's a story about this guy who's super type A, like go 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 on the
Mm.
move. He winds up having a heart attack, and this carpenter saves him on the street.
Wow.
Like he rescues him, and then he commissions the carpenter to build him a desk so they'd start working together. And the carpenter just starts dropping all these gems on him, just
Mm.
about how to slow down, how to create, how to do this. And then love, serve, care was like the the main glue of it. And
Mm.
if I change it today, it would be love, serve, create. But I like, what, love, serve, care is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. And it just stuck with me. I was like, yeah, this is it. And then going through that Kaleo project, and the point of that was like amplifying our voices, speaking out. And I had been thinking for a while about restarting a podcast. I knew it was something I wanted to do. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it after me and Sarah stopped doing our show. And
Mm-hmm.
it just it just came together. I was like, yeah, this is it. 3 minutes. I made the beat. Love, serve, care. Boom, done.
Wow.
And every day since, every day an episode.
It's perfect because see, you're supposed to be in that job, and that's why everything's a journey. There's nothing wrong with where you are, job, whatever people do, because
Yeah.
I truly believe an author I met years ago. I forget his book title, but I met him at Six Flags. We were in a network marketing company. And I was so fascinated because I always used to write, but I never met an author before. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, how do you publish a book? I was so young. I was like 20 years old. Now I'm 8 years older, but I was so fascinated. And I remember being on a call with him. I was like, how does a book get published? How do you write a book? Like, I was just like 20 years old. And I remember him telling me that because I was asking him, do you feel like you could ever like meddle with your destiny, etc., something like that? He said that no matter whichever path I take, I'm going to end up where like I need to be. Like life is always, whether you take a corporate route or like whatever it may be, right? Or you move
Hmm.
here, you move there, life is still going to bring you to, it's whatever everyone, each their own, what you believe in, but whatever you're called to do or your purpose. Now, if you choose not to do it, I feel like that is on you, like if you want to be miserable that way. But he was just telling me that nothing can go wrong, as in everything is how it's supposed to be, and it's still going to bring me to that place, like
Yeah.
bring me to the pond. I thought that was really nice. And when I heard that, coming from a traumatic history, I felt like I'm gonna make it, because no matter, even if I'm going through this, my day is gonna come, and look at what I do today. Like those 12 years of trauma are now over. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like I definitely believe in those things. Like, do you believe in that? Like no matter how long it may take, it take like 80 years, and then you have that one day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. My life is proof of that because it would have been easy for me to kind of just throw things away. I had a lot of opportunities to just I went left a lot of times, but like I didn't go like left. Like I didn't go
Mm-hmm.
off the road. I was like I was teetering, You know, it was like kind of
Mhm.
when you drive and you hit the little the bumper things, like the guard things, like shakes your cars, like, oh yeah, yeah, I gotta get back on the road. But yeah, I see everything as that because I guess um one of my superpowers, like kind of relentless optimism. I'm just like, it's gonna work out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna find a way. I don't know how. I'm gonna find a way, and I'm still finding that way, but that way's a lot easier with me getting out of my own way, with me not trying to force it, to try. I'm just like, all right,
Mhm.
how about I just be wherever I
Mhm.
am, I'm there. Wherever I go, I'm there. Simple. I
That
don't have to be
really is
anywhere else.
it.
I can be right here. That's a great place to
Mhm.
be.
Recently I've been speaking with my friends and I just saw Sarah Verba, she's an astrologer, and I, have her on Patreon, but her YouTube video I was just rewatching. I rewatch a lot of her content cuz it's so thorough, like to really dig deep about astrology and like, life and all that, and she was just stating how I was rewatching it and she was stating that how people don't know how to be in the now, as in they want to go 0 to 100, right? Like you're how they don't embrace the transition. They, as in any of us who's like rushing, like I'm supposed to be ahead, ahead of this, or this is already supposed to be done. Like these kind of statements, it's like more hindrance than anything. And
Yeah.
I don't do that. Like it's like I teach others to like be in the now as well. So how did you become to like know that, hey, I'm going to be in the now, I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to be calm? Is that through like a spiritual, intelligence? Like how did you gain that?
Yeah, I would say it's just been these last 7+ years of personal development. I didn't.
Wow.
It's funny you mentioned network marketing, and it was all
Mhm.
part of the path. Like 2014, that's when I got involved with a network marketing and financial services firm, and I never knew about people like Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar. Like
Mhm.
psh, who? Huh? What do you mean I have the power to control my mind or
Mhm.
control my reactions? Like, what are you talking about? Life happens to me. No, 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 no. It happens for you. That's crazy talk. What do you mean? Like, everybody knows that this is how it is. This is the system. And it's just been through that journey and uh, being coached, being served, and practicing as best I can. And this is not to say that I am the almighty Zen Alex. I have my moments. I lose my mind. I scream at the kids. I get mad at myself. I get mad. If, Sarah trigger me, whatever. People just piss you off. That's
Mhm.
emotion, right? But also recognizing, hey, I have the power to create this. I
Mhm.
don't have to react to this. I don't have to let this bog me down. And growing up, if I made a mistake or something like that, I mean, it would be like weeks and months. I'd be just obsessed about
Mhm.
that thing, or someone said something to me and I didn't come back with a quick thing, and it
Mhm.
was eating in my head all freaking all the time. And now it's like, okay, that happened. It's neutral. I don't have to attach myself to it. I don't have to, like, I call it objective reality. I don't have to get too high on the high of it, but I don't have to get too low on the low. Like, reality is kind of like right there. It bends, it dips, it waves a little bit, but I don't have to be on this place like, whoa, I'm man, like a manic high, and then like,
Mhm.
it's the end of the world. Oh my God. It's like living that way was really challenging for me because I was just at the, I was at, it was like drifting on a sailboat, right? And you're just waiting for the wind. Everywhere the wind took me, that's where I would go. Oh my God. And instead of me kind of being the captain, all right, I'm just gonna paddle. I'm gonna figure this out, do it myself instead of waiting and reacting for everybody else to kind of define who I am.
Everything you're saying, I watched in the recent like 2 days. I just made a post about people defining. And literally before we got on here, and Sarah, the astrologer, she was just talking about how life dips, like literally before I got on this with you. And Hitomi is another YouTuber who went through a lot of trauma, a female YouTuber out of New York. And she, also was talking about, no, I don't remember one of the things you were saying. Oh, regarding the trauma, how she would hold on to things for such a long time. Me also. And it's
Yeah.
like when we're not healed, that's what happens. Like I would have a lot of anxiety. Before I've never been on camera a year and a half ago when I started this my first time, but I wouldn't be able to, I'd be having hyperventilation as I'm like talking on the phone. Like I couldn't breathe. I had such bad anxiety, like
Yeah.
horrible. You wouldn't even know it's me. Like I couldn't even finish a sentence, but no one would believe it because people only know us now. Like they only see what they see now.
Yeah.
But all these people, it's like they don't know the old Pratiba or like a year and a half ago. Like I look like S. Like you know what I mean? I didn't even look as happy or like anything. Like, and it's so interesting because sometimes like I want life to be a movie where people can, I don't know, you maybe feel this way too, like where you could rewind back and like watch your life, and you could show it to people. Hey, I was this way. Like, remember what I said? But it's like, it's not. And it's just like people just, I don't know if people can even understand or imagine. That's why it's chai, right? The courage, hope, and imagination, because it's like to get you to think about how someone was and their story, like you're sharing, and where you are now. And I can see that you're still growing, and that's really hard. Like that's some tough stuff for you to be this, obsessed with certain things, and then to like let go and to remind yourself, like, hey, I have to like spiritually be calm, let go, not have this eat me up. And that's a really hard thing to do. It's like a disease. And you know what I mean? It is a
Yeah.
disease, like
Yeah.
mindset,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that analogy of the rewind button. This is going back to like one of my old episodes on the show. And this is from a conversation I had with a client, and they were going there. They were just, it was, this happened and this happened. I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Your mind right now is you're handcuffed to this chair in the movie theater, and
Mm-hmm.
all you can do is hit the rewind button. When we're in the present, that's when we hit play.
Mm-hmm.
We play with this, be here. And they were like, oh, poof, like, mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
And and I know that because that's what my life was like. Just oh, this mistake. Oh, this girl turned me down. Oh, I got into this fight. I'm missing everything in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious now to talk about it and even just picture some of these moments of like somebody saying something to me and I couldn't even like receive it. I think that's one of the kind of going back to one of your questions, like what's been the biggest change? It's really been being open to receiving. If someone were to say to me, even 5 years ago, 6 years ago, Alex, wow, you're doing great, you're amazing, I wouldn't even hear, like, I got this yeah but bag behind me. Yeah, you did really great. Yeah, but you know what? I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm ready with it. I'm like guns blazing. I'm ready to shoot down any compliment. You're
Mm-hmm.
awesome. You're an
Wow.
awesome guy. Like just John Woo movies. Like I was, I was armed. I had an arsenal. I was ready for anything.
I like that you brought that up because recently I had an experience where I went to the corporate office for the place I'd be working at. I'm
Yeah.
not stating names, so hey, this is what I do. Anyway, I went there and I was complimenting somebody, right? They said, no, but thank you. No, but thank you. And I'm like, I say, you look good. No, but thank you. Got really upset. It was like a trigger for the person, even though I'm complimenting them on their looks. That told me everything. Me being in mental health and like doing coaching, what we do, that told me
Yeah.
everything. I just kept quiet, and that I don't need to know anymore because you're already in suffering. I don't need to. And the one thing I did say to the person, I had said to them, I said, why do you say that about yourself? And their answer was no. That's what the person said to me. After that, I just kept quiet because it's such a uncomfortable topic. But I felt fascinated because Alex, honestly, it's been like 3 years and I've been in my cocoon at home, like, and like the pandemic, everything. And, I was in Thailand in 2019. So now that like it's like I walked into a corporate or like workplace, like to interact with people in person has been very like it's like so awakening that this is how people are, especially being in all the coaching and the stuff we do online here, right? Our mindset
Yeah,
is like 100, like, and then I see people that are really not happy in jobs and things. And I'm just
yeah,
like blown away because I've been in my own cocoon. So that's like my recent experiences that it's like I'm young, but it's like I'm living more life than people who I'm seeing are older than me, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's my little share. So
uh,
share with us any last words for today and where people can reach you and all that great stuff. Please.
yeah. No, I just want to shout you out. Thank you. Appreciate you for just allow me this time having this conversation. This has been really fun.
Yay.
Um,
It was deep. We got a little
yeah,
deep.
yeah.
Free
That's how we
flow.
do. That's how we do. You get deep because I can't take anybody any deeper than I haven't gone myself. So when
Hmm.
someone's in a conversation with me, we go into the deep waters. We're like, wait, it's like it's okay. I've been down this path already. I know how to get out of here. Like we're gonna figure our way out together, but we got to come. We got to go here. We got to go to hell to get to heaven.
I have one last question.
Yeah,
What's in your hand? Is that sensory for like to calm you, relax you?
yeah. I got this like
As
idea
he's
from like this positive intelligence course, PQ.
mm-hmm.
I doing the PQ reps, and it just becomes a habit now. My daughter gave me this. It was Daddy Rock.
Oh,
This is like years ago, so you see how worn down it is, and then on the back
wow.
of it, you may not be able to really see it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of etched in, so LTSG, let
Wow.
that go, and yeah, it's just my reminder. It's just
Wow.
like
I
it
love
helps
that.
me remember to keep some attention on myself because it's easy for me in a conversation or coaching somebody to get like in their world. Like it's really I can't really describe it, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
in their world, and I'm like, oh, don't forget come back, come back to
Mm-hmm.
me. Don't forget me. So this it's my thing, and it's my reminder. Like I'm a little pebble in this big old river of consciousness, and I just make my little ripples. I make my waves, and every time I talk to somebody, it's another ripple.
I really like that because I just want to say that coaching and clients and all, it takes energy, just like how doing live videos, people who don't do it, they may not know, but it does take energy to talk for this period of time, have lights on, like different things.
Yeah,
And I like that because, when you're with a client, it's like they can project onto you and to remember that, hey, those are not your concerns. You're here to help with those concerns, but not to take them in. It's all a
yeah,
skill. Everything we do, everything you do, I do, this is all a skill. And the important thing is mind. I feel like just as long as we focus on stabilizing your mind every day, I feel like that's the most important.
yeah. It just
But yeah.
takes practice, time, energy, and attention to it,
Woo!
and
Time, energy, and attention. I like that.
that's the
That's
T.
your next
See,
podcast.
see, chat. Well, that's an old episode. Gotta watch. Yeah, time, energy, and attention. The T.
The tea. I have actual chai, Indian masala chai. Have you
I
ever
have
had it?
I have not. I have water.
Oh, father. You got all these fatherly things like best father.
Yeah, yeah. This is like an old thing. But Sarah gave me for Father's Day. I think
Oh,
2 years ago.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Father of
it.
Wildlings. Yeah,
I think it's beautiful and beautiful, like where you have come to with your family and all, right?
yeah,
And congratulations because you made it. Like seriously, like even me, like congratulations to me, congratulations to you, because not everyone does, and that's why we're still here to help other people. So
yeah. I was talking about with
it's a little
somebody
sad,
earlier. I'm
but
like, look at my little gray hairs. I'm like, those are my
I
badges of
saw
honor
that.
because not too many, not too many young brothers make it. They don't make it to where
I
I'm.
have some too. You can't see, but I
So
do.
like Snoop Dogg says, I want to thank me.
Seriously, I seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
No, it's really important when you know the value of life, like forget money, like value of life, value of time
yeah,
and money, but life. I just, not everyone wakes up every day. I feel like as long as you can remember that, like it's like today's a great day, you know?
yeah. Life is good.
Yeah. But you were supposed to share where people can find you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right.
Pebble, what happened?
So
It's
connect with
okay.
me at
I'm joking.
thereealexdumas.com. That's my website. That's where you get to learn
Yeah.
more about yourself than me. So if you go there, you'll figure that out. And on social media, the real Alex Dumas, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. That's where you can find me. I keep it simple. So outside of that, next week, the 20th is when it's going
Mm-hmm.
down, the unfun experience. Let's get it wrong and see what happens. So if you want to play and you want that ticket, that golden ticket of sorts, just email me, Alex at abundancedaily.com, and I'll make it happen.
I like that. And we can post that. I think this was fantastic. And I look forward to your workshop because I am actually a serious person, even though I laugh and like, I am a serious, I'm a Capricorn cardinal sign. I like to get my shit.
Oh, you're a Capricorn. Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Hey,
that.
that's not right.
I always must say it's Scorpio season right now, so we are running things. Running things.
But I have Aries personality. So fire, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, I'm calm, but I go from 0 to 100. Like I go off on somebody.
I go from 0 to 101.
Yeah.
So let's don't try me, boo
But I
boo. Okay.
recently learned,
So,
like, before we wrap this up, I just recently had my gene keys analysis. So I'm a projector, but I learned that I'm a natural born fighter. Like, it's just, it like, from my birth chart reading, like, it's just naturally, this is in my DNA. It was like a DNA analysis. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called genekeys.com. But then a
oh
friend of
no.
mine did the analysis on me and she like, broke some of it down. And I was like, it all makes sense because it's accurate, like in who I am. So
Sarah's big into like human design. That's her thing. That's
that's,
her
yeah.
world.
Is she in human
So
design? That's what it is, human
yeah.
design. So you do
Okay.
know. You do know of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's her world. It's too much for my head. Uh,
You're
I'm a
not ready
caveman.
yet.
I'm like A to B. That's me.
But you don't
Um,
even have any hair. It's too much.
yo.
Oh.
Oh man.
It's okay. My head was shaved too, it's growing back now, but she had shaved the whole head. Like it was like a 2, really. But last year I was bald, like fully. Like I shaved my whole head off, like all my hair
Wow.
at home
Yeah.
during the pandemic. So anyway, namaste. It's so great having you on. Thank you for those who are tuning in and who watch this replay. And I love you all and keep chiming together. So that's new because I never do like an outro. So look what you
Try it out.
did.
You
You
had to
got me.
try
You
it
got
out.
me in my groove.
Did you catch that one though?
Try out. No,
You had
I
to
don't like
try it
that.
out.
I don't like that. Do you guys like that? I don't like that shit.